Jesus says, I'm going to make you into something. Some of us are about to step into what we have been made for. The only way that you move into mission mode is when you say, God, I've got enough of me. Now I'm ready for you. God, I recognize that there's still something left, but I don't want to be down to crumbs anymore. I want to know what you can do with leftovers. If you don't believe that you serve a God who can do something with leftovers, baby, you in the right church. I want to be in the pattern that lands on good. I want that. I want my heart to be pure. I want my mind to be pure. I want to be focused. I want to land on good, but every time I want to do that, evil is right there with me. It won't even give me a running chance. Evil is right there with me. In my inner being, I delight in God's law, but I can see that there's another law at work in me. Oh, wow. It's waging war. Oh, I want to talk to somebody who's got a war waging on the inside of them. There's a war waging on the inside of me, inside of my mind, and it's making me a prisoner. I want to talk to somebody who is a prisoner of a pattern. I want to talk to somebody who feels stuck in the same cycle over and over again. I can't get my head right. I can't get my money right. I can't get my family right. I'm stuck in a pattern, and I want to take you to verse 25. Oh God, I feel my help coming. Paul says, thanks be to God who delivers me. No, let me take it to 24. 24 says, what a wretched man I am. Who will rescue me from this body that is subject to death? Where am I going to get my help from? Who's going to help me? Who's going to deliver me? How do I get out of this pattern? And verse 25 says, thanks be to God who delivers me through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then I myself in my mind am a slave to God's law, but in my sinful nature, a slave to the law of sin. But thanks be to God who delivers me. Why does Paul say, thanks be to God who delivers me? I'm stuck between two patterns, but for some reason, Jesus delivers us from this back and forth, this pattern of being stuck between two different ways of being. Because Paul understands covenant. God help me. Because Paul understands covenant, Paul understands that I can be stuck between two patterns by myself. But because I am in covenant with Jesus, that which I cannot do on my own, I got backup in Jesus to get the job done. Oh, y'all, I feel like preaching in this help. I need you to turn me up in the monitors because I don't want to lose my voice halfway through this message. Paul says, because I am in covenant with Jesus, it won't be by my might, it won't be by my power, but by the Spirit, says God, that I'm going to be able to be delivered from these two patterns. I need you to understand the power of covenant. The power of covenant means that which you cannot do in your own strength, because you are in covenant with God. If you turn to God and say, God, I don't want to be stuck in this pattern anymore, and I tried it in my own strength, but God, I need some help. That Jesus says, that's what I came for. I came that you would be delivered from sin. I came that you would be delivered from destruction. I came that depression would have to back up off of you. I came so that anxiety would have to leave you alone. I am in covenant with God. You think having Jesus in your heart is about being a good judgmental Christian. No, baby. When I got Jesus, I got backup in the Spirit. When I got Jesus, I got to pray prayers that I couldn't pray on my own. I couldn't even come to the throne of grace. But because of Jesus, I can do things that I shouldn't be able to do because I am in covenant with God. I'm in covenant with God. When you're in covenant with God, no weapon formed against you will prosper. When you are in covenant with God, though he slay me, yet shall I trust in him. When you are in covenant with God, he'll make your enemies your footstool. When you are in covenant with God, he'll cover you even when you made a mistake. When you are in covenant with God, demons start trembling. When you are in covenant with God, generational patterns are broken. It ain't nothing but a covenant, baby. It ain't nothing but a covenant, baby. I am in covenant with God. How do I know the child is going to be saved? Because I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging for bread. I am in covenant with God. Covenant. He's a covenant-keeping God. I'm in covenant. And covenant gives me access to power. And covenant helps me to tell sin, you got to leave me alone. Covenant is going to break the addiction. Covenant is going to save the family. Covenant is going to change your name. Covenant is going to prepare you for the flood. Covenant is going to do you like Abraham and move you into new territory. You're going to get out of your father's house and into a land that he will show you, because I'm in covenant with God. When you're in covenant with God, you start doing things that don't make sense to other people. But my covenant ain't none of your business. I'm in covenant with God. I move where he tells me to move. I speak what he tells me to speak. Covenant will have you looking for Goliath. Covenant will have you talking to a burning bush. Covenant will have you parting a Red Sea. Covenant will have you move to Dallas, Texas. Covenant will have you up in the middle of the night in South Africa watching online, because I'm in covenant with God. I had to get up this morning. I'm in covenant with God. I had to break up with you. I'm in covenant with God. I had to go to therapy. I'm in covenant with God. I'm in covenant. I'm in covenant. I pay my tithes on the 1st and the 15th, because, baby, I ain't got time to be playing. Everything in my house is in covenant with God. You better watch your mouth when you talk to me. My mouth is in covenant with God. My mind is in covenant with God. Christine Kane. She's one of my favorite women preachers. And Christine Kane talks about having a cancer scare. And I love her so much. And she told a room full of people, so I'm not telling her business. She said that by the time she got finished talking to God, that she was wanting to be healed in her body. But she also realized that because she's in covenant with God, even if the doctor's report doesn't change, she's gonna be okay, because she's in covenant with God. I want to talk to somebody who refuses to believe the report of the doctor, because I'm in covenant with God. Either I live or I have everlasting life, but death is not an option, because I'm in covenant with God. The bank can tell me no, but they can't kill my purpose, because my purpose is in covenant with God. I may have to restructure, I may have to move, but I'm in covenant with God, and he will perform his word. He doesn't know how to do it, how to abandon his word. He doesn't know how to give up on his covenant. We give up. He doesn't know how to do that. So I don't lean into my own understanding, because I'm in covenant with God. I'm going to cry tonight, but joy is coming in the morning, because I'm in covenant with God. It don't mean life doesn't hurt. It just means that I serve a God that's going to get me to good, because I'm in covenant with God. Oh, God, I wish I could say this real good. Being in covenant with God doesn't mean that I'm always going to feel prosperous. I can downsize and still be in covenant with God. Because being in covenant with God is about where my spirit is, not where my resources are. When you have the source, it doesn't matter what your resources are, because I'm in covenant with God. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. In the context of my whole life can change, my whole world can change. It could be turned upside down. But I'm going to be good because I'm in covenant. Jesus says, I am the covenant. I am the blood covenant, the new covenant. I know you heard about God making covenant with other men, but now the new covenant is that whosoever believes in me shall not perish but have everlasting life. I am the new covenant. So we have Jesus, the new covenant, who is creating a pattern for all of us to follow. Oh, God, help me. Jesus is the pattern that we're to follow, but he's also making patterns through the disciples. Oh, God. I'm going to take my time because I don't want to mess it up. Jesus, our new covenant, calls 12 disciples together. I'm going to give you insight, he says to the disciples, on what God is doing in the earth. Because when you're in covenant with God, you get information first that other people can't even understand. I can tell you was off. God just dropped it in my spirit. I'm in covenant with God. You ain't lived until God dropped something in your spirit. That's how you know. Oh. He says to the disciples, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Okay, that's a new pattern. That's a new pattern. This new covenant lays out a new pattern that everyone is to follow from this day forward. If you believe in me, this is your pattern. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Step one in the pattern, follow me. Follow me. Just follow me. Just be in the atmosphere where I am. Inconvenience yourself to be where I am. Be willing to leave your familiar to be where I am. Be willing to break out of your cycle to be where I am. I'm telling you, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. And some people, they followed him. But then there's this next step of the pattern where he says, and I will make you. Uh-oh. Can I tell you a secret? Some people come to church and they follow him. But people who are in relationship don't just follow. They let Jesus make them. If you could have seen the person you sit next to before you were sitting next to him, you would know that he's a miracle working God. I didn't just get to where I am. He made me into this. Baby, there was a time I would have cussed you and slapped you, but he made me into this. There was a time when I would have lost my mind, but he made me into this. I didn't just follow him so that I could say I'm a cute little Christian. I allowed him to make me. I don't think the same way. I don't speak the same way because I allowed him to make me. Jesus says, I'm going to make you into something. If you follow me and you don't change, you didn't follow me. Because if you follow me, you should have no choice but to be made into something else. If you follow me, I'm going to make you. I know I called you an author, and you have no idea what an author is. But if you follow me, I will make you into what I called you to do. If you follow me, I will make you into the rooms I'm calling you to go into. If you follow me, I will make you into the husband you never thought you could be. If you follow me, I will make you into a person of integrity. If you follow me, I will make you walk with boldness. If you follow me, I will show you how to humble yourself. If you follow me, I will give you the language you need. If you follow me, that trauma won't rule you. If you follow me, I will make you. I'll do surgery on the inside. You go from being a woman with the issue of blood to a woman I call daughter. How could it be in the same text that I started off with issues and ended in adoption? He must have a pattern where he announces that I am whole, and all of a sudden I'm whole again. I think I messed around and I let him make me. I wasn't a preacher when I was growing up here, but I started following God and he made me into what he called me for. I want to talk to somebody who is being made into something new right now. I want you to know that if you get on the potter's wheel, and don't mess around and get in the potter's house, I'll make sure that you are transformed. I'll make sure that you turn into a vessel that doesn't look like what they went through if you follow me. I will. I'll make you. Oh, God. Woo! Okay, I tried. Okay, here. Y'all know what I love about him? Is that the following and the making is not a one-time thing. Because sometimes I follow him and he makes me on the level that I am. But then he calls me somewhere else. And I got to follow him somewhere I've never been before. And he says, follow me and I'll make you again. Follow me and we'll go from glory to glory to glory. Just keep following and I'm gonna keep making. If you keep following, I'm gonna keep making. If you keep following, even in your latter years, I'll still be making you. Even in your former years, I'll still be making you. I don't. God, at my big age, you would cause me to do something new. God, I don't know if I could survive in that new arena. I don't know if I could survive in that new industry. God, you would call me. Follow me. And I'll make you. I'll show you. I'll show you how to quit. I'll show you how to build. I'll show you how to let go. I'll make you the person who doesn't even need that anymore. Follow me, and I will make you. I'll make you into it. Holy and acceptable, I'll make you into it. Follow me. I don't just call the shots. I get in the ring with you. I'll make you into that man. I'll make you into that woman. I'll make you into that bit. I'll make you into it. That word, thank you, Jesus. That word make, in the Greek, it means product. Follow me, and you will be my product. You'll be my product. You'll be my brand. You'll be the collective essence of my expression. I will make you my product. And I know that he does this because in Acts 4, when the disciples are speaking in the synagogues, they perceive that they were uneducated and untrained men. And they marveled because they realized they had been with Jesus. Untrained, uneducated, but the product of Jesus. It was so evident that they had been with Jesus because they looked like a product of his. I want to be a product of Jesus. When I enter this text in Matthew 10, verse 16, I really wrestled with this because I saw the pattern, follow me and I will make you. But there was this hidden next step. And this is what I think I wrestled with in trying to study. And I think this is where many of us get stuck. Is some of us do the following, and some of us do the making. But in Matthew 10, we see the third part of this pattern is follow me, I will make you, and then I will send you. God help me. Follow me, I will make you, and then I will send you. I am not making you to keep you. I'm making you to send you. Woo, that's the kingdom. And some of us, we come to church and we follow him and we've been made new, but we don't allow ourselves to be sent. In the kingdom of heaven, which is different than church, is about how we invade what happens outside of this room. It is how we take the kingdoms of this world and make them the kingdom of our Lord. It's when the ideas and the creativity that God has placed on the inside of us doesn't stay with us. He tells these disciples, I'm sending you. And you are stepping into what you were made for. I don't know who's in this room, but I want you to understand that maybe you're like the disciples. And this is the part that I feel is so prophetic. And maybe it's just my own mail, and I'm letting you read my mail. Some of us are about to step into what we have been made for. Self-preservation is not the mission. Your self-preservation is a method that you use as a vehicle. God help me to say it. Self-preservation is a vehicle, but it is not the destination. So I practice preserving myself because I know that God has work for me to do. But I don't make my mission protecting myself, because if I make my mission protecting myself, then I will miss out on the very reason that I was created. And so I have to learn to balance the reality that I do need to preserve myself, and I do need to move with wisdom, and I do need to have boundaries, but I also need to know when none of that matters, because it's time for me to step into something that requires vulnerability. vulnerability. It's time for me to step into something that I've never seen before, and I can't do it and be comfortable at the same time. So self, get ready to get uncomfortable, because we're moving into mission mode. You got to know the difference between preservation mode and mission mode. And I felt like God told me that there were just one or two people in this room who were about to move from preservation mode and into mission mode, that they did what they had to do to preserve themselves. They did what they had to do to preserve their peace. They did what they had to do to preserve their mind, but they've been in preservation mode for so long that they feel like God is trying to move them somewhere, but they don't know how to let them go. And I'm telling you, the only way that you move into mission mode is when you say, God, I've got enough of me. Now I'm ready for you. God, I recognize that there's still something left, but I don't want to be down to crumbs anymore. I want to know what you can do with leftovers. If you don't believe that you serve a God who can do something with leftovers, baby, you in the right church, because the potter's house is all about broken leftovers that the potter knew how to put back together. If I had about 5 saints in this place, we would take a minute and tear the roof off this place, because we know that we serve a God of leftovers. You're looking at me in overflow, but you didn't know that overflow started with leftovers. You're jealous of what God is doing now, but if you could have seen the overdraft, if you could have seen when I lost my mind, if you could have seen when I wanted to get out of here, if you could have seen when I thought I had no worth, you're celebrating now. But baby, when I tell you that now couldn't have happened unless then. You can protect the leftovers, or you can offer the leftovers as a sacrifice. Moses had to be willing to take what was left over, even though he didn't think it was enough. Even though he wasn't sure that it could be powerful, God says, I want what you have left over, because what you have left over is enough for me to transform not just your world, not just you, but the world. Bishop was talking and he said that there were some world changers in the church. See, sometimes we don't want to set ourselves up for failure by saying things like, I'm a world changer, because you think you're insignificant in the overall plot and plan of the world. But if you knew how connected your world was to everything else God wants to do in the world, you would recognize that you don't have to have an international platform to be a world changer. All you have to do is have a mission that says something in my world is going to change, because I've gone through hell and back, and I'm not going to leave hell waiting here for my children. Something's got to change. I'm going to change the way we communicate. I'm going to change the way we see love. I'm going to change the way we build businesses. I'm going to change the way we engage with one another. I'm going to change the way we worship. I'm going to raise up a new standard. I don't know about what happened before me, but one thing I know is when God says my time is up, I'm going to leave a new standard so that everyone who's connected to me can come up a little higher. That's all I want to do. If breaking a chain means you came up a little higher, that's all that matters to me. I may not be the first millionaire. I may not be the first billionaire, but I'm going to leave a rope, because I'm going to be the first thousandaire. I'm going to be the first hundredaire. I'm going to kick something off in my family that ain't never been kicked off again. I'm going to kick something off from my generation that has never been kicked off before, because my Creator created me to create something different. I am not created to do what has already been done. I'm created to break something. I'm created to change something. I'm created to establish something. I'm created to take some territory. I'm on a mission. The mission requires that I come out of this trance that makes me keep talking myself out of the very thing that I'm called to. I gotta come out of the trance where I feel like protecting me is the ultimate goal. Because if I am protecting me, I am telling God that I don't trust you to protect me. I know you called me to it, but I don't trust you to protect me in it. It takes a certain kind of vulnerability to say, I'm going to go even if I feel uncovered, because I recognize that the call came with protection. The call came with protection. Called me to this marriage, called me to this business. But what if I fail? What if they break my heart? If I called you to it, I'm going to protect you through it. So what if they break your heart? I know how to put it together. So what if you fail? I know how to pick up the broken pieces. So what if it doesn't work out? I know how to make all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according. Jesus masters the ability to go from preservation mode to mission mode. He knew, if you follow in the Gospels, his ministry, there were moments where he would perform a miracle and tell a leper, don't tell anyone, because right now I still have to preserve myself. He would perform ministry and move to the next town immediately, because I gotta preserve myself. But when we see Jesus in the garden, he's moving from preservation mode into mission mode. So when he's in the garden, we hear him say, if it be your will, if you could pass this cup from me. He's been in preservation mode so long that when it's time to move into mission mode, he's got to see God. Because I got to let myself go so that you can perform the work that you want to do through me. And God, I can't let myself go unless you teach me how to unclench my plans and unclench my ways and unclench the way I thought it should be and unclench the love that I have for the very thing that's hurting me and unclench the grasp that I have on what I thought my future should look like. I got to move out of self-preservation mode, and I'm afraid and I'm scared, but nevertheless, not my will be done. We see him in the garden, and he's praying until blood and sweat falls from his head. Because the hardest thing you will ever have to do is let you go. But restoration depended on Jesus coming to this moment. I don't know who you are in this room, but you're hungry for restoration. Not the kind of restoration that you get because you want to go back in time. Oh, help me, God. Let me say it the way God gave it to me. Jesus is so committed to God's mission in the earth that he has to be willing to let himself go. So what is God's mission in the earth? God's mission in the earth is to reconnect creation with Creator. Yeah, that's all right, we're going somewhere. So when God creates man and woman in the garden, he has connection with man and woman. We don't have to wonder where God is. He's just a cry away. We don't have to wonder if his hand is on us. We don't have to wonder if he's going to provide, because we were already connected in the garden. And so when Adam and Eve eat from the fruit in Genesis 3, there is separation that is created. So God is on a mission to reconnect with his creation, so that his creation can understand the fullness of what they received when they were created. Because what happened in the garden skewed our perspective and our perception on who we are in the earth. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust our creativity. We don't trust that we can say no. We doubt ourselves. We worry. We're in depression. We have shame and addiction because of what happened in the garden. But God says, regardless of what happened in the garden, if I could just connect with them again, I could still bring them to a place of restoration. You want God to restore what you lost. God says, I want to restore what you never even knew you had. I want to restore the confidence you had never even knew you had. You have gifts and talents that you never even knew existed. But because there was separation, you don't even know everything I put in you. But I hear God saying, it's still in you to win. It's still in you to create. It's still in you to have dominion. It's still in you to subdue. It's still in you to tread on serpents. It's still in you to walk through hell and not get burned. It's still in you to talk through a serpent and not lose your head. It's still in you. Jesus tells his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life will lose it. And whosoever will lose it for my sake. So you better stop losing your life for everybody else's sake. I know it's cute to people please. I know it's cute to be everything to everybody. But it's not just about losing your life. It's about losing your life for his sake. It's a lot of life draining happening in this world. A lot of life draining happening in these relationships. A lot of life draining is taking place. And God says, I'm nowhere in that. You keep asking me to get in it, but I was never in it. I'm asking you to start losing your life for my sake, because I can guarantee if you lose it for my sake, I can restore it. I hear God saying, stop asking the very person who robbed you to also restore you. If you would trust me with your life, I can give you more than you gave me. That's why I give my offering. That's why I sow my seed, because there's nothing I can give to the kingdom that could even compare to what he'll give to me. Takes a bold move to say, I'm going to deny myself. I'm going to deny those insecurities. I'm going to deny that fear of failure. I'm going to deny that voice that says I'm too old. I'm going to deny that voice that says I'm too young. I'm going to deny that voice that says I failed too many times. I'm going to deny myself and say, God, if this is where you're sending me, if this is where you need me, I'm going to have to take my cross with me, because I got some things to kill along the way, but I'm going. Isn't it amazing that Jesus says you got to take that cross and get on the cross right now? You just got to be willing to take a cross with you, because when you get to where I'm calling you, there's a version of you that may have to die in order so that the real version of you can live. So don't let God open a door for you that you don't take your cross with you into, because when you cross that threshold, every trick, plan, and plot of the enemy is going to haunt you and taunt you. But that's okay, because I got my cross with me. And because he defeated death on the cross, it doesn't matter what the enemy says. I got a cross with me that reminds me that resurrecting power is mine, that the joy of the Lord is going to be my salvation. I got evidence. God's got a mission. God's got a mission for this generation. He's got a mission for your family. God's got a mission in the earth. And the mission requires your participation, not your preservation. Jesus, on the cross at 33, it wasn't about preservation. It was about full participation. Israel keeps getting stuck between preservation and restoration. If you read the Old Testament and into the New Testament, you'll see that Israel makes a commitment that they're going to follow God because God came through. So no matter where you take me, I'm going to follow you. And do you know, they were not out of Egypt for very long before self-preservation kicked back in. And they start wanting to go back to the very place where they were enslaved because they'd rather have a master they know than a master who requires the unknown. That's the tricky thing about self-preservation. Is sometimes you will settle for a lesser master because you know it, than to dare to trust the master in the unknown. And this is Israel's problem. This is the problem with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They are committed to preservation, so they miss when God is creating moments for restoration. See, I think in order to fully understand this, we have to let go of the idea that restoration is when God gives me back what I lost. Restoration is when God takes you back and gives you what generations lost, when God gives you what they lost hundreds and hundreds of years ago. When my father is building these communities, I know him well enough to know that he's not even thinking about a house that he lost. He's thinking about a house his ancestors were never even allowed to buy, because restoration is not just about getting back what the enemy stole from you. I'm going to give you what he stole from your grandmother. I'm going to give you what he stole from your great, oh. Woo! 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 I'm sorry, that did something in my spirit, because I got generational brokenness and generational loss, and my mother and grandmother had to say goodbye before they could see that they've never seen the righteous forsaken. I believe that somebody's looking from heaven, and while you think you got a long way to go, they're thanking God that you went further than they ever thought possible. God gave you what I lost. God bless my great grandchildren with everything the enemy stole from me. Woo. I'm sorry, I feel a wind coming. I'm sorry, I feel like the gates of hell are about to be opened, and that there's going to be one or two of us who leave this place more determined than we were before to go into the enemy's camp. I'm sorry, y'all know I am a little bit of a church girl, but when I was growing up, they used to sing a song about going into the enemy's camp and taking back what he stole from me. You can't do that and worry about yourself. Baby, I'm worried about my stuff. I'm worried about my blessings. I'm worried about my peace. Hell, if you got my peace, you gonna have to give it back to me. And I'm not gonna wait for you to hand it over. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and run up on the devil that's been running up on me. Yeah. You stole it, but you can't keep it. You stole it, but you can't have it. The divorce tried to break it, but you can't have me. You planted seeds, and you thought the enemy snatched them. But God says, I keep perfect records. I know everything you planted. I know what your daddy planted. I know what your grandmother planted. No wonder we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, because I want to witness the moment you come into yourself and remind hell that you slayed me, but I stayed in position because I trust that the slaying is working for my good. Yeah, just like that, just like that, just like that. A bold move to go into the enemy's camp, just like that, just like that. I hear God saying that it's time for you to get bold again. I hear God saying that the wicked hides when no one is chasing, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. If I could just hear somebody roar. Did you hear the demons tremble? Did you hear hell get nervous? Somebody's roaring in a way they ain't roared in a long time. Somebody's coming out in a way they ain't came. Bold. Bold, bolder than I ever been, bolder than I ever thought possible, bolder than they ever seen in my generation, bolder than they'll ever see again. I'm gonna do something you've never seen before. Yeah. Be careful, don't roar like that no more. Somebody's getting ready to roar in this place. And when they roar, be careful who you sit next to, because you're not even gonna mean to roar. But all of a sudden, you're gonna think if they could roar, after all they've been through, if they could be bold as a lion, when life tried to run over them, if they could trust God in every season, then maybe, just maybe,